Hello and welcome to the Voices of Victory podcast. I am your host, Mario DeLeone, and today's episode is the epidemic of emotional anesthesia. What does that actually mean, and why do so many people actually feel it? Think of it this way. There's emotions that you're pushing away. So, what you do is you numb yourself. You numb yourself with unhealthy escapism. That's the reality. We're not talking about feeling good here. We're talking about why so many people don't feel at all. They're just so emotionally disconnected, maybe from one another, maybe even themselves. Because beneath the surface of a generation of people that are grinding, scrolling, numbing, ghosting is something way deeper. It's deeper than apathy, it's anesthesia. Okay, they're trying to numb themselves out, but not the medical kind. This is the emotional kind, the unhealthy escapism kind, the kind that you choose when you've been bleeding emotionally for so long. You'd rather go numb than feel one more thing in your life. So today's episode is about what we run away from and what we run to and what happens when we actually stop finally running, because it's going to have an impact on you. Let's name it emotional anesthesia. And this is what it looks like: hours of escapism, hours of it. Gaming till 4 a.m., binge watching for 5 hours, doing things that are completely escapist. Gym sessions are not for health anymore. They're just to punish the soft parts of you, right? The hustle is called the grind, even though the grind means to wear shit down. But really, can you sit with yourself? Can you sit with your emotions rather than go through the endless stimulation? The fast food, fast dopamine, fast answers. And then you wonder why your heart feels so slow. Your relationships feel distant. The gap is widening. Your life feels flat and purposeless. This isn't about addiction. It's about avoidance dressed up as wannabe discipline. It's about how we've mistaken numbness for peace, because it relates to isolation as well. So let's talk about why. Because let's face it, feeling can be a threat to people who don't learn to sit in that emotion. Don't falter, right? But you've already learned that feeling equals danger somehow. Vulnerability equals exposure. Vulnerability is bad, right? Because it is confused with a militaristic vulnerability that a tank has a weak spot. But in the world of emotions, it's about being vulnerable, showing that depth, no longer hiding parts of who you are. And the sadness, you might believe that it's weakness. Your body remembers, even if your mind says, I'm fine. Okay, your nervous system remembers the moment that you shut down. It remembers that moment when you actually have a breakup, that fight with your father, that fight with your girlfriend, that fight with your boyfriend, that job rejection, that betrayal, that absence of praise. And so your brain develops its own little painkiller called escapism, the numbness. And we've replaced ritual with routine that used to have function, but now has become indulgence. And indulgence is literally the murderer and killer of discipline. So today we have rituals of escape. We call it grind culture. Self-improvement can be over the top for some people, rather than having a sense of balance. Keeping busy too much, or most of it isn't sacred. It's just really survival for people. But what does it cost? Because stubbornness has a massive cost. And here's the cost of numbing out. You can't feel your partner emotionally anymore. You mistake disinterest for peace. Quietness is threatening. Silence is threatening. You sabotage your relationship because intimacy feels foreign. You confuse tension with excitement and quiet with actual boredom. You can't access joy, only relief for that moment that you escape. But inside, you're flatline. And the worst part is you lose your inner compass. Your brain is the GPS of your life, and it's run by one word, and that's values. But you don't know what you want anymore. You don't know what you value anymore, because what you want is just a feeling. But that's the thing. Values aren't feelings. They're literally promises you almost make to yourself. That's the truth. You can't selectively numb. If you shut down pain, you also shut down joy. You shut down your relationship. You shut down love, all in the name of escapism. So how do you wake up? What do we do? Start naming what you're avoiding. Face your demons, feel your shit, ask yourself, what would I have to feel? What would I have to feel if I didn't scroll that site at 2 a.m. or chase that hit of validation? That is your work. Start small. Feel fully. Don't rush. Don't try to fix yourself. Start with just 60 seconds of silence a day. Learn how to contemplate rather than going from one thought to another to another. Notice what arises. Maybe grief, maybe rage, maybe boredom. Breathe through it. Sit through your feelings. Don't distract or escape. This is returning home, getting into your body, not just your head, getting in that feeling nature again, learning to take your thoughts from the thought level and bring them down into your heart, into your feeling nature. Breath work, movement, exercise. And this isn't self-help, it's self-return. Create a feel first morning ritual before you grind. Feel, journal, stretch. Speak something real out loud. Some people want to kill their emotions and shut them off, but they're part of our humanity. It doesn't make any sense. You don't need to fix your life all at once. You just need to start feeling again. That numbness is not your fault. That escapism also isn't your fault, unless you're very deliberate about it. But it is your responsibility. Because remember this, mood and indulgence. The mood and indulgence is the murderer and killer of discipline. And values is that backbone to the GPS of your life. Your brain is like a GPS, and whatever you program it to do, it will do. But your values and the reason why, that's going to help your due north on the compass. Take care. Have a good day. See you in the next episode.